Meat processors will add usually a 1-to-1 ratio. For every 1 pound of deer, they'll add a pound of pork. Okay, because deer is notorious for being lean. And so they're going to add some pork in there to get some fat in there. Usually they're going to add mainly a fattier pork. Here, this particular pork is a little bit leaner. It's about an 85% lean. So it's going to be a leaner breakfast sausage. Okay, so now this calls, there's about 3 pounds of pork in there, and this is enough for 25 pounds. So what I'm going to do is just kind of coat the top, just like that. That's a seasoning we use. We sell a lot of this sausage. You see, the thing you want to be cautious about, folks, when you do that, don't inhale real quick like I did. Right now my nose is on fire and I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I told somebody they can take this home. But I don't know if you noticed, as I'm starting to mix this up, get it like this so the camera can see and you can see it home there. It's starting, see how it's starting to stick to my gloves? That's that salt inside there. It's bringing that protein out, making it sticky. Okay. You can add a little bit of water to help that seasoning incorporate into the meat. You know, in something like this, once I get it thoroughly mixed, I'm going to leave it as is. Okay? Just like so. But you can see it's sticking to my gloves. This is another reason why you want to make sure you have some latex gloves. And you can feel it on there. It's getting sticky. And that's what we want, because when you go to make your patties, you want them to stick together. Okay, just like so. That's it, how you make a fresh sausage. Now, if you want to get a little bit more creative, and you know, this is where, if you're going to get creative and make some of these real fancy sausages, for example, this one here, you know if there's a cutting board back here? That's one thing I forgot. This is about a 3/10 of a pound, and we sell it for $15 a pound. And to be honest with you, it's probably underpriced. This is, put some fresh gloves on here. This is a pepperoni that's nothing like you're going to get at the grocery store or off of a Tombstone pizza or something like that. This is an old-fashioned pepperoni. And what we're going to do, if we find a cutting board back here, we're going to slice some of this up here. This is one of those dried, fermented sausages that we talked about earlier. This took approximately 4 months to make, okay? And they got a really good packaging on this. There we go. So this isn't like your Hormel pepperoni you get in a grocery store. This is an old world type of pepperoni. Oh, here we go. Thank you, sir. I'll slice this up and, you know, feel free to come up and try some. I brought extra because I thought, well, Eastern County people. I'll start slicing back here so you guys don't question my knife skills and think I'm going to cut your hand off. Like I said, you're not going to find a pepperoni like this in your grocery store. This is truly an art form. And this is one of the products that our chefs make. We sell it in our butcher shop there in Lexington.
Is this the
It's pepperoni, yep. Here's another one. I'm just going to open this up. You guys grab what you want. This is a snack stick. You're going to find when they stuff out snack sticks, they loop them over smoke sticks. And so what we have here are the bins. And you can see there's different varieties inside there. Help yourself to some of the snack sticks in there. Once again, a lot of folks will take their deer and have it made into snack sticks as well. There's a variety of seasonings in there. There's a pepperoni flavor one because we deal with chefs all the time. There's also a pepperoni one that is has some wine in it. There's a barbecue in there. So have fun searching through there. This is one that, and the reason I brought this because I know that you folks are all about this. All right. This is summer sausage, and this is not dried like the pepperoni is. And I brought it for two reasons. Now my nose is starting to run because of that inhaling pork seasoning. Two reasons why I brought this. Number one, I haven't come across a deer hunter yet. When they have their sausage made, they want jalapenos in it. So if you're doing a jalapeno summer sausage at home, get the dried jalapenos, not this jars. Okay, reason being is the jars are the jarred fresh jalapenos are extremely acidic, and you won't get the bind. It'll actually break up the proteins and it won't stick together. The other thing is, just like bacon makes everything better, cheese makes everything better. But in this particular product here, you want to be able to see the cheese. And so we use what's called a high temperature cheese. You're not going to get a high temperature cheese in your grocery store. You're going to have to order it online. This cheese doesn't melt. And we don't want it to melt because we want to see the cheese in our product there. And there's a rind on here. Once again, it's an inedible collagen. You can eat it. You're just going to see it again tomorrow morning. All right. This might be a little spicy for some folks. Others of you are going to find it not spicy at all. So, we can always cut more if we need to.
Water on the table.
Water on the table. And the last product I have for you, sorry Tom, we didn't have any lawn yogurt, it's still drying. For those of you that are a fan of country hams, we've taken the same technology to make a country ham, to make a dry cured pork loin. Doesn't take nearly as long. We need to cut up some more of this guy. A little hot for you? Yeah. Like I said, some folks it may be a bit too hot. See, the issue we have with this is the guy that makes it for us, one of the guys we work with, he's a Bosnian War refugee and he's Muslim. So a lot of this stuff is pork, so he makes it and he's never had it before, so we get to be his guinea pigs. But this is a dry cured pork loin, and normally if I have my slicer in here, my automatic slicer, we slice this really thin. I'm going to try to do that with this. This is, in my opinion, folks, this is amazingly good. I'm slicing it paper thin because you really pick up the flavors better if it's sliced really thin like this. So what I'm basically kind of concluding things before we turn it over to our taxidermist, we can be very basic with the sausages that we make, whereas we can make just a regular fresh sausage like a bratwurst or a breakfast sausage, and you can even get creative with that. We make a variety of bratwurst. We make a bourbon apple bratwurst. We make what we call the wildcat tail, which is a cheese-filled bratwurst. So even with this simple fresh sausage like a bratwurst or a breakfast seasoning, you can do that, or you can get as elaborate as you can with some of the dry cured pork loins and dry cured pepperonis and the lawn yogurts and things like that. So, there we go. There we go, folks. Have at it. And with that, I'll entertain any questions. I guess must be good if everybody's not asking questions.
What about the meat to fat ratios, Greg?
Usually, my personal preference is around an 80-20, 80% lean, 20% fat, especially on the summer sausage. It actually is leaner than what it looks. The guys went a little haywire with the cheese. To me, that's just enough to give it some flavor. We've also, I think this one is actually a blend of beef and pork. So our fatter end of this is the pork and the leaner end of this is the beef. The pepperoni, I believe, is all, let me double check here on the label. Yeah, the pepperoni is also a beef and pork product in there, and it's a little bit fatter. It's probably around a 70-30 on that. So snack sticks are usually around 80-20 mix.
So with deer, it being so lean, you could buy.
What I would do with deer, if you're going to do your own deer at home, your pork fat block should be Boston Butts. They're fairly cheap and they're fatty. And you can kind of eyeball, you kind of get a feel for what it looks like. If you go to the grocery store and look at 80-20 ground beef, it's going to be fairly close to looking like that in pork as well. So you can use, I would use your Boston Butts as your fat block in your beer mixture, your deer block.
I've been wanting to try pressure canning some meat.
Pressure canning some meat, yeah.
How's that work out?
We don't normally recommend that because there's a lot of stuff that you got to do, but you kind of treat it the same way you would the other, canning of anything else. You make sure that you get the right temperatures and everything. So.
We've actually done a little bit at the office canning meat.
Canning meat, yeah.
We reserve there's a publication. Martha's the expert on that. So.
Yeah. What you think?
Good stuff.
Really good.
Pretty hot.
I just grabbed one when I came. I didn't.
That was a little warm.
I believe that's my favorite. Yeah, where's the crackers at?
I didn't bring any crackers, sorry.
You tell them about the butcher shop being open on.
Yeah, if you're ever up Lexington Way, we do have a butcher shop where we sell these products. Ty's been up there. I don't know if David's been up there or not. If he has, I hadn't seen him up there when he's in town. But all the products come from animals raised on UK farms. We have fresh meats. We have this variety of sausages in there as well. We're open Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 to 5. I'll slice some of this more of this up. I didn't bring all the different varieties of dry cured sausages. We make like you saw in the picture, the old world Genoa salami. That's I'm not for sure if you'll see the face of God when you eat that, but you're going to get pretty close. That's really good stuff. And like Ty was talking about, he's been up there with. We've had our different varieties of bratwurst. What makes it so unique is the basic bratwurst seasoning we use for just regular bratwurst and the wildcat tails is our chef's old family recipe. When we do the bourbon apple brats, obviously the bourbon, it actually is bourbon that we use in there. The apples come from Kentucky, so it's truly a Kentucky proud product. We also do an Italian sausage that the guys tell me Coach Cal eats the Italian sausage straight out of the chafer dish because they'll make it for the basketball team. The day before they make that Italian sausage, the guys sit in the office and they pluck fresh oregano and fresh basil off the stem, and that goes in there. So it really changes the flavor profile of it immensely. But we try to do some of the old European style sausages in there. So, like the old world pepperoni, we got when I came to, what is it, May? We were back here, we did this.
Something like that.
I brought a lawn yager with me. I didn't take any back. It's a real heavily smoked, dried German style dried sausage. It's actually, lawn yager actually stands for walking stick because it was where the old West they carried beef jerky. In Germany they carry lawn yager with them.
You also have a lot of good fresh cuts of meat.
We do, yeah, we do fresh cuts. We try to maintain, when we do have beef, that's a challenge to get beef. We try to do the new beef cuts, so you see the Denver cuts, the chuck eye steaks, the San Antonios, the Santa Fe cuts, all those new, ribeye fillets, strip fillets, things like that. We have the new beef cuts. Anything else?